What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Ethereum today. ETH. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Let's get into it, okay? Let's talk about this thing here. So here we are, sitting at about $2,645. Ethereum showing a lot of bottoming signals, okay, across a lot of different charts, and we'll look at this real quick, okay? Looking at where you found that low there, that's somewhat of a triple bottom here, right? You've got two lows there, one low here. That's a triple bottom of this overall consolidation phase. Whether you want to call it a triple bottom or not, whatever, but it is a very nice area to find support. You also found support back in this zone. Previous area of resistance there. Kind of found support here, but a little bit lower, truthfully, but that's fine, whatever. Relatively speaking, it's definitely a nice area to find support. We're on the weekly aspect. Let's look at the monthly aspect. If we look at this from a low to a high, that's the 382 time and time again. Beautiful reaction there this month, already having a bigger wick than it does a body, or at least it looks like it is. Is that a bigger wick than the body? Maybe the body's a little bit bigger. Let me just see real quick. From a low to a high, 22%, from a low to a high, 24%. Okay, the body's a little bit bigger, but still, nice reaction so far. 18 days, 19 hours left. If we look at the monthly RSI, you're actually in a nice area to bounce here. To be completely fair, though, if the month closes green, you'd be bouncing over here, and that's fine as well. You'd be carrying out a move, bouncing from your 50. It might look like you're pointed down right now, but again, if this month closes green, this down move goes away, it actually pivots, and you'd be going upwards. So I think that'd be a nice look to have. Either way, man. Whether you close here or you close higher, I think you're fine. But truthfully, I would suspect that, next 18 days, 19 hours, that you would close this month a little bit higher. In fact, I'm expecting most cryptos to close near their cycle highs by the end of this month. So something around 3,700 to 4,100 probably by the end of this month is what I would expect. Going into March, we'll carry out this upward momentum to see the full kind of, I don't know, explosiveness of this move. Looking at the weekly RSI, we're definitely at an area to bounce, right? We found support here. We found support there. We've also found support right where we're at now, just a little bit higher, right there, basically in this same area. Time and time again throughout this whole bull cycle, we've been finding support in this area. This would allow, I would say, for the weekly RSI to come down a little bit and still look good. So if Ethereum has a bad week this week, that's fine. It's totally fine. I doubt it does. I think we do carry on moving higher. I think a week like what you had last week is rather suggestive that we do continue to move higher, but you never know. You can move down a little bit. 6 days, 19 hours left in this week. If we were to move down, I think it happened today or tomorrow, and then the rest of this week we start to move up and recover. That's kind of my expectation. Looking at the daily time frame, actually the 3-day time frame here, right at the oversold zone and area on the 3-day, you keep bouncing from as well, so that's also nice. Daily RSI in a bit of a downtrend, yes? Okay, cool. A little bit of a downtrend, lower highs here, lower lows there, something like that, right? It might not be the most perfect, maybe something up here, something in this area. That's actually a pretty parallel channel. I like that. Oftentimes with downtrends or uptrends, they end in their respective zones. Oversold zone, your uptrend here, you came to an end when you were in the overbought zone, right? You started to come to an end and start this downtrend here. Well, now you're in the oversold zone, maybe you come to an end and you start your uptrend, something like that. Being on a daily time frame, this is significant, but I do want to remind you, we're at the bottom of this zone. We haven't even interacted with this area, let alone do we suggest that we're breaking out yet. So while it's something to prospectively get excited for, right now in the current moment, presently, it's not anything to be excited for just yet. We are at a relative low zone in this range. It wouldn't be crazy at all if we went a little bit lower. Okay, we really could see the day turn sour on us, or even the next couple days. But I do suspect, again, I suspect by the end of the week we'll be at higher prices than we are now. But from a low to a high there, if we were to go lower, we're at 2650 now. If we were to go lower, which again it wouldn't be crazy, so I think it's important that we entertain the idea at least. 2400 to 2360, that would be a good target. Maybe 2220 to 2300, something like that. I don't think we'd go below 2220. I don't think we'd go below there, but something as low as that could happen. We move lower first and then we move up. That's fine. That's totally fine. We might not. We might just move higher. In fact, if you want to validate the idea that we don't go lower and we do move higher, close multiple 4-hour bases above 27, let's say 2,720. If you can close 2 4-hour candles above $2,720, then I would say there's no consideration, no need to consider targets at $2,400 to $2,200. But if you come up here and then you reject, you don't get 4 hours to close above there. You just have moments that you're above there, and then you reject down. You're back down at your 382. Likely you do go down to this area or this area here. So lower prices would come about. But one way or another, whether you go down first, whether you move up first, whatever, you're gonna, right, up first, down, and then up, whatever. You're gonna go to the same areas, right? It just might take a little longer if you go down first. If we're looking at the 4-hour RSI, the 4-hour actually looks bullish, I will say. Rejecting the 50 time and time and time again and not getting into the oversold zone, that's a bullish thing, man. It's just like when you bounce off the 50 time and time and time again, but you don't get into the overbought zone, what do? It's a bearish thing. You break to the downside, right? Time and time and time again, right? Here, rejecting the 50 time and time again, you bounce, you finally went through it, but it wasn't enough. You didn't get enough through it. All I'm saying by this time is maybe it's not enough. Maybe you don't get to the overbought zone. This is the 4-hour time frame, but something today, over the coming days probably even, we see a little bit of a retracement to the upside, I would think. Being at 2650, that's nice, man. Ethereum moving up is definitely good for altcoins. High to low here, that might throw off some of my lower calls for some altcoins tonight. I don't know, but I would expect, I suppose, by the end of today, maybe even going into tomorrow or the next day, we would see prices potentially around $2,900 to $3,000. All it would take is to get above 2720, right? We need to get above there. If not, lower we go, and that's fine. Again, that's totally fine. I might start to think actually that today doesn't move down red, man. We actually might close green. Interesting to say. I really like that 4-hour RSI. I really, really do. I like the 1 hour too. I think it's fine. I think it looks pretty good. It does look more bearish than bullish, to be fair. You're not getting overbought. You are getting oversold. Yeah. But you could be turning the tide right now. I'm having a hard. The 4 hour is the only one that looks bullish. Everything else kind of looks bearish. A little flip-floppy here at the end, but I'm going to stick with it. I think you do move a little bit lower, and then we start to move higher. Okay. Even if you move up from here right now, maybe you move up to 2800. You're at 2650 right now. Maybe you move up a little bit, but inevitably something that likely takes you below 2500 is on its way. I think we'll see that probably either today or tomorrow. I got nothing else for you guys other than the fact that I think that once we find that low, we will begin moving up again. I think by the end of the month, we'll see prices around $4,000. And then going into March, we will break out to new all-time highs for Ethereum and thus the rest of the crypto as well. I would assume that price by the end of this move, maybe it's in March, maybe it's in April, but I would think by the end of this move, whenever it happens, it would be at about $7,700, $7,750 or higher. And that's all I got for you guys. So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Break above $4,005. That's how we know it's on to $7,700. Okay, take it easy. Bye-bye.